Angie, you're on mute still.
I'll ask my question while you're waiting, Andy.
Okay. Council?
My question is to Jason. How much, if you can remember, was the cost of the temp that was removed off of the clerk's budget request? What was the total amount for that temp?
Do you remember?
Through the chair, I do not remember. Maybe the clerk can refresh our memory. I don't have that information in front of me.
Sorry, Jason. Mr. Chairman, $11,000 would be roughly
Okay.
11, 12, somewhere.
Did you hear that? It's $11,000, Caroline.
Yes, 11,000.
Okay.
Well, because I was wondering why 8,400, I didn't know if it was how much it was, could be moved into that account to keep that temp instead of the car allowance. That was my request, so.
Okay, well, the motion was made to remove these at a later date.
Right.
You know, there was talks during the budget that the mayor would readdress things, you know, like coming in and amending that like around election time, because there's still a lot of speculation on how that especially the August election is going to be ran. So that's still a possibility, but that motion is not on this. Councilwoman Croft, you had a question?
Yes, and I do apologize if it's already been answered, because there's a little bit of lag, when they were going back and forth, I couldn't catch everything, but my question is, how many people in the city have take-home vehicles or car allowances? Because this is new to me, I'm not aware of anybody else having a car allowance.
Okay, I mean, I don't believe anybody has car allowances, is that correct?
That is correct. Currently, that is correct.
Okay.
We have historically had that.
Nobody can take a vehicle home at this point.
No, Mr. Chairman, that part is incorrect. We do have members of our, I guess you'd call them first responder team, that have historically taken vehicles home.
Okay.
They may or may not every day, but I don't want to give anybody the indication that city vehicles don't go home, because they do at times.
So Angie, okay, you did hear that? Okay. Okay, is there any, Councilman Johnson?
That brought up a question to me. How many of the department heads have a vehicle assigned to them? Or do they just go to the vehicle pool and take whatever vehicle's available? Or do they have a set vehicle that they take every day?
Mr. Chairman, I believe all but one have assigned vehicles,
Okay, thank you.
including building inspectors.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? Oh, Councilman.
Elected officials can submit mileage reimbursement, is that, can they?
Through the chair, that's like I said, I guess are you asking me, is it allowable cost? I would say yes, if it's in accordance with city business, and if there's a budget for it, I would think that would be acceptable, yes. But like I said, it has to be logged and documented properly. I don't believe there's anything against that. I believe it's allowable expense, yes.
And Mr. Chairman, and budgeted.
Okay. Yeah. Off of Councilman Winton's question, then if it is an allowable cost, does the CFO have any idea on how many other cities, surrounding cities, pay this type of a fee or allowance?
Through the chair, I do not. I haven't done any kind of survey with any other communities around us, so at this time, I do not have that information.
Mr. Chairman, I did reach out to fellow clerks to ask what their packages allowed for, and I don't know the details off the top of my head, but I'd be willing to share that information with council.
Okay.
Mayor and Jason.
I think, Mr. Chairman, again, I don't want to make it political, but I think what you'll find is most communities do. They have some form of vehicle or vehicle allowance. This is not new. It's not new to the city of Taylor. I get that some people want to make it political, and I'm fine with that. The facts are the facts, but the timing of it's probably not appropriate. And but I don't want to get into the back and forth of that there was some effort to deceive somebody, because that's just simply not true.
Okay, with all that being said, I'm going to give my 2 cents, and it's a quick one. I don't like the timing of this, and I don't like the way it was done. So, with all that being said, all those in favor
But,
say yes.
Mr. Chair, are we closing the discussion on the overall budget, or just on the
No, we're
removal?
actually voting on the new current budget.
All right.
We opened and closed the beginning at that,
I just want to make a few comments about the budget, but I didn't want to interrupt
Okay.
the conversation about the allowances.
Sure, go ahead.
I just wanted to kind of reiterate today what I've been stating through the budget sessions, and that's concern over revenue over the course of the next 12 months. I think we're doing the right thing. I think we're passing a good budget, but I think we're doing so each day knowing more and more that we're likely going to have to make significant changes going forward based on reduced revenues. And, you know, I kind of put a call out to department heads, to all of us elected officials to take a look at this budget and immediately start looking at where changes could be made. I participated, I think several of us participated in the seminar yesterday with the Michigan Department of Treasury, and there's just some really startling numbers in terms of expectations. Sales tax for April and May being down 50%. Gas tax collection based on traffic being down 60%. I think the Detroit News reported just today that Wayne County is expecting to lose 20% of their revenue over the course of the next 6 months. I think instead of looking at this budget and finding what we can put back in or finding what we can spend or to shift it around, we should be looking at this budget and saying, if the reality of losing 10, 20, 40% gets here, and it gets here in July or it gets here in August, we should already be thinking today about how we're going to react to that. So I think the process is good. I think we're doing the right thing. I think we have some significant challenges ahead of us, and it's going to take a great team effort, and it's going to take all the department heads to look at their specific budgets and say, what am I going to be able to do if the doom and gloom of the revenue projections that we're getting from all sources turn out to be true.
I agree. Okay. Is there any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman?
Mayor?
Just want to respond to that. Yeah, I agree as well. Again, we've cut out $2.2 million from last year's budget alone, and that's just essentially, you know, low-hanging, off-the-top stuff that's easy to see and remove. The reality of it is as we said through the entire budget process, we're going to have to monitor this monthly. It may be bi-weekly because we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know all the answers. I think we'll know a lot more before this budget actually takes effect on July 1. You know, I do hope there's some federal stimulus money to help not just the city of Taylor, but every city across America that's suffering because we're all in the same situation. This is not a unique conversation that any city or township is going to have, not only in the state of Michigan, but in the United States of America, because the reality of it is we're going through something we've never been through before. There is no blueprint for this. So we have to be conservative, we have to be realistic, but we also have to provide a certain level of services to the residents. And so we've spent a great deal of focus on all of those things here. I agree with Councilman Bzura, though. I think that, you know, we're going to definitely have to proceed with caution.
Okay, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just let the audience know if they are, I'm not getting any comments on this, so if they are having issues, they can email me. I've been checking my phone too, so I've been so I'm gonna give my email address slowly, because it's,
Okay.
you know, so it's cbower, BOWER, @ci.taylor.mi.us. And that is on the website as well. Just gonna, I don't wanna miss something, but I've been refreshing
No, I'm
like
glad you
every
said that,
2
so.
seconds, so, but nothing's coming through. I even did a test one myself and mine went through, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Item number 12 is a motion to receive and file the March 2020 paid invoice report.
Make a motion?
Support.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Johnson, supported by Councilman Bzura. Is there any discussion on that? If not, all those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Motion carries.